In this week's reading, we witness the famous deathbed scene of Jacob calling forth his sons to relate to them what will happen bi'acharit hayamim, in the final end of days. This is the first time in the Torah that we see any reference to the type of messianic visions that will eventually become such a major theme in the prophets and later Jewish thought. Jacob, though, unlike the prophets, never does give over the details of a messianic vision. His sons gather expectantly to hear the prophecy, and it never comes. After his preamble, he turns instead to the topic of blessing them. We are left on the edge of our eschatological seats. Just as in our present reality, the future remains a dark continent of invisible inevitability. And yet, what is visible in the text that might be revelatory to us? One thing which stands out, in Jacob's own words, is the stress he puts on his sons coming together. Asfu, he says, gather together, and I will tell you what will be. And again in the next verse, he bids them, Hikatsu v'yishma'u, make of yourselves a group, a kavutza, and hear your father. For Jacob, it seems that there is something intimately linked about the gathering and the telling, the grouping and the hearing. Indeed, messianic visions by their very nature gather us together, binding our hitherto splintered individual selves into one common narrative, one massive shared drama. Messianism, at its best, is about unifications, ingatherings, national and eventually international oneness. What's more, I would add that it's in our people's very gathering together that the prophecies of the end of times are themselves brought closer to their fulfillment. It's as if we have an inbuilt propensity for gathering, for grouping, a genetically predisposed sense of nationhood, tribe, shared destiny. The messianic promise I hear in Jacob's words is that when we as individuals make the move from separateness to togetherness, when we each access the depth and beauty of that sense of being gathered together, bonded in family and fraternity, then the prophetic vision is one person closer to being fulfilled. I am daily moved by the members of my community who have gathered here in Jerusalem, individuals who are called with an imperative to the fulfillment of our national destiny, individuals who have chosen to leave behind the comforts and allure of the West, compelled to disentangle from the familiarities of exile, to forge a shared destiny in this complex land. We who choose to dwell here, to gather here, are in essence living on a prophecy. None of us know the details of the end of days, and yet we're drawn together with a sense of its imminence. The poem I'm about to share is about the promising imminence of redemption. It's about the cultivation of a sense of shared destiny. Let us gather together and celebrate our familiar bond, our commonalities. May we gaze in amazement at the ongoing ingathering of the exiles that is occurring before our very eyes and within our very limbs. Destiny we have danced. Destiny we have danced, and with the wind of our will we have wiped away the tears that our destiny did spill. And with our hands upon the wheel that holds our wheels upon the road, we have driven our desire to our destiny's abode. And though the road stretches far from creation's first flung light to the far dark destination of the future in the night, we will stop and take a walk beneath the sea of stars, catching constellations in our net of dreams thrown far. For destiny is glimpsed in and guided by our dreams, while in waking hours our prayers mix with the reality it brings. So let me recall a vision to you of a father's prayer thrown to an open sky, how our people have watched up after it with long, enduring, yearning eyes, and suddenly it's come back down and hit the ground before our feet, for fate has come to fulfill the wish that our shared dreams have dared to seek. And we are thankful now not only for the grant of God's permission, but for the gift of witnessing the long path of prayer's procession. And thus I come to you, offering this view of an ingathering in an instant, of a people living on a prophecy of community and commitment. And we gather here to witness the long path of God's own dreams. We fulfill God's prayers with the reality we bring. So let us wander Yerushalayim together and raise our thankful eyes. Like dreamers, our mouths are full of laughter for the sight which fills the skies. Above our heads there blows a vision we had but beheld in dreams, framed by flickering constellations, a singular blue star beams. It is a prayer shawl upon the wind, for the spirit also prays. It is a sign that day begins, after we've dreamt the night away. It is our flag, as fixed as fate, and raised on high. It dances with the willful wind, with prayers and dreams and you and I.